Kia ora, dear listener or viewer. Welcome to Zealand. Now, Zealand is set in a post-apocalyptic world, so it goes without saying that we will be exploring some of the darker natures of humanity. So if you're squeamish or the idea unsettles you, take your chance now to walk away. For now, we return to Zealand.
Kia ora, guys, gals, and legionnaires. Rycon here, and welcome back to Zealand. This is part 3 of chapter 4, Eye for an Eye. In the last chapter, our survivors were overcome by an aerial force. Bats that had somehow made their way into their neighborhood. They'd encountered bats in the past, but these were bats that were not infected, didn't seem to carry or harbor the virus that seems to be taking the world by storm. These, however, were infected somehow, some way, and they came in a decent number, taking down seagulls along the way, but then attacking a number of our survivors. Namely, the people who were attacked were Verdant, Skulk, Scott, and Jonah. The others making it back inside safely in time. Skulk having a field operation, thanks to Scott, who with trusty aim managed to take off his leg in one massive swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very hard with one eye.
Yes, indeed.
I can tell you now.
Yeah. You're getting a good perspective of it now, yeah?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Or lack of.
Just one perspective.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty one-sided. So, Skulk was carried back by Jen and Scott with the tarpaulin held over the top by Jonah. Jonah released that tarpaulin, providing a distraction for the others to make it back to the MDC. He was attacked himself further, already sustaining wounds on his legs. Scott returned to fetch him. The two of them made it back inside. But now we have a very busy infirmary. Skulk, you are still out at this stage. Work is still being done on your leg. It's going to take some time for them to do it. Nick is... You can just see, like, he's got blood up by his face. He's got, he's got something wrapped around his head, just trying to keep the sweat back as he's working with Willow. At the same time, you're being seen to occasionally by Frank, who's keeping an eye on you. Mm-hmm. Everyone else is keeping their distance, but helping where they can. Jonah has stayed out in the hallway. At this point, he's been staying with Lulu. Lulu's been kind of keeping a hold of him and seeing to him as best she can, using a bit of rubbing alcohol and disinfectant on his hands and trying to see to the wound on his leg. Jen's trying to help out with that at the same time. Scott, your wound across your face has also been seen to. And something else that we'll note is that whenever we have these encounters, in between each of these parts, we roll for the infection. As there is a chance, especially with these creatures who seemingly are infected, for an infection to pass. To be able to overcome that, you need to roll luck. However, that is diminished by the severity of the wound. If you took a grievous wound, that's a -15. For a significant, a -10, and for a minor, a -5. So, we had some luck rolls to be done. And pretty sure every single one of them didn't work out very well. And so in that case, when that happens, that's when we start to burn sigils, as we did with Scott when he lost his eye in the last. How are we looking now in terms of sigils?
I have 1 sigil.
1.
Yep.
1. So Vedant had a very rough pre-game to Zealand in which he had to burn a few sigils, and now you're down to effectively your last life. There's one more in there. Once you've got nothing left, that's it. So you've been living a hard life, to say the least. Scott, where are you at?
Let's just say before the eye incident, I had 5. I am now on 3.
Same party.
And Skulk,
I
you
lost
still-
my leg instead, so I've got 7.
yes, yeah.
I
you
still
got
lost
7.
a leg, even though I had 7. But
That's true. That's true.
So what you're saying is the moral of the story is it doesn't matter how many sigils you have. Sigils don't matter. I'm going to pay for that one.
The only sigil that matters is the one between 1 and 0.
Well, it's good because we've still got 2 more parts to this chapter. So, all those sigils you've
I'm on
got.
a balance of 0 right now.
Yep, all those sigils we've got in the bank.
Nope, I don't have any
I'm
either.
the only person with sigils left.
We're good to go. I think Nick and Jake still have some, but
True.
yeah,
Hey man, I'm just going to grab onto my rifle and stay way the hell back there.
yeah.
That's just going to be me now.
Well, yep, you are trapped currently in a room with a man standing in the doorframe.
Yep.
Out in the hallway, while all this is kind of going on, Scott, you've been seen to, but with all of like the frantic nature of this and the adrenaline that was pumping through your body before starts to subside, you feel waves of nausea start to overcome you. Your stomach twists and pulls until you feel yourself retching. And then standing there in the hallway, you almost buckle over, Jen moving to the side as you brace yourself up against the wall and you unleash your breakfast all over the wall. And everyone starts kind of backing up at this point, and you can hear people inside, like, you can hear Willow saying, like, what's going on? What's going on? And yes. It is very shorthand here. It's very, very shorthand. Charles rushes in from the side, tries to see if you're okay, just checks your temperature. Jen's looking concerned at this point as well, and she's like, okay, we're just going to have to sit you down. We'll take you to the room, okay? And you're feeling woozy at this stage. You're feeling exhausted and almost that kind of drunk sensation again as you start to lose sensation.
I'm just like, take it to somebody. I'm just like, take it. Like
Jen takes a hold of your
just to
spit
say-
axe.
to lighten my,
Yes.
because it's quite heavy.
Yeah. She holds it to the side and walks you along to your room, where you're sat down on the bed, and you can hear a little bit of cleaning going on in the corridor. Just rest, okay? You must have overexerted yourself.
Let me know how things go on.
I will.
I rest up.
Okay. Dan. Sticking your head in the side of the room where Vedant is, you can see that he is resting up and has been seen to, but still there seems to be a firm gaze from Frank in the doorframe, keeping an eye on him. Something else that you'll note is that the rooms in which the Russians were in, they've been taken out of there. You haven't seen them at this point. They were getting shifted. You don't know whether or not they went upstairs or downstairs. But Mikhail, the one who had the hand injury, was also shifted out, and he was not able to walk. He was carried out.
How did he look from how we last saw him?
Bad. He was conscious. He was actually conscious when he was getting carried down the corridor, but just
Barely.
barely. And his hand was completely covered and wrapped around with gauze and tape, and Skulk has now been placed behind in that other section. After a while, once a little bit of the activity has died down with Skulk's operation, Jonah voluntarily places himself on the other side of the quarantine, wanting to stay on that side. On the other side of the quarantine, there's one locked door, and then each of the rooms have their own locks, separate from each other. Jonah's in the left, Skulk, you're in the right, which was Mikhail's room.
I thought I was in quarantine as well.
No, you're the one that's just outside of it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Unquarantined.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's active. There's a lot going on. And Scott, you're, as I said, just trying to rest, and Jen isn't with you for long. She goes back out to try and help some of the others. You're still sitting there with all your gear still on, just like in bed, looking up towards the ceiling, and you're feeling absolutely drained. Just well and truly. Nick and Jake are assisting where they can. Araha and her family have been kind of staying back, but have been assisting where they can get in. It's pretty tight quarters here, so people are trying to give a little bit of breathing room. And the frantic nature of the reserve continues for a little longer, until the day draws on a little bit further and things seem to quieten down. A very, very light lunch is prepared, but there isn't a lot of conversation happening between people. Your pain isn't as severe. It's still, like when you move it, it hurts like a bitch, but it feels like it's workable. You've had worse. You've lost a leg. You know what that feels like. You don't know everything that happened outside, but you do know that Skulk was not in a good condition when you came in. And everyone's just kind of staying for a while. If you move throughout the rest of the place, you'd find that the Russians are being kept on the top level. In the kind of lounge area, Mikhail has been set up on the couch, and Ismail is just kind of sitting alongside it, and he just seems to be kind of looking forlorn down towards the ground. Outside, you can still hear the screeching occasionally, but it's not as severe as it was before. There's a chance that they might be moving on. It's difficult to tell. A lot of the curtains have been kept drawn, and after word from some of the others at the reserve, the decision has been made to keep everything closed. No one goes in, no one goes out. Well, everyone's already in, which helps.
I would, seeing the Russians sit up on the sofas, I would go and pay them a visit.
All right.
How is he doing? Has he been able to speak?
Mikhail,
Yeah.
I've talked with him. He's sleeping now. He told me what happened to him. What happened to my brother. The others that were with him. My brother is lost. No longer in this world.
Sorry to hear that.
Perhaps it's a kindness. I heard what happened. I'm sorry.
We were not ready for that.
No. We've had similar experiences before. When we first bought our boat, moored it up next to the point. Fire worked. I can only hope that your friends, if they are hurt, that they don't start to burn up.
Hopefully.
It is why so many of us lost parts. Those that remained, there was a sacrifice, a cost.
There's always a cost.
All of you seem to have paid it.
Some have paid it a few times.
Don't go back there. Not my home. The other place. Those children. They're not normal.
We took what we could carry from the depot and destroyed the rest so that it couldn't fall into the wrong hands.
Perhaps it is good. The army would have found their hands on it eventually.
Eventually.
Perhaps they will still go. I hope those children find them.
We would be so lucky.
There was a woman. Older woman. Mikhail, my brother Ivan, and the others, they found her. She was living in a hut, Department of Conservation. She wanted them to help. She said she had lost her children. She sent them deeper into the woods. She sent them into them. She knew what she was doing. She killed my brother.
That just brings up a lot of questions.
Answers are good like that. They always bring more questions. I would very much like to see her dead. But revenge is a one-way street. Once you start walking down it, there is no way back. There is a chance my mother is still out there somewhere. I would do my brother proud to seek her, not to follow his path.
Pay death back with life rather than more death. There's been enough of that already.
Agreed.
I don't know how Dan will be. He was injured by those bats, but if he can go, I'm sure he still wants to join you, and I definitely do. If there's a chance your mother or Max are still out there alive.
I want to go. I want to go right now. But I know that will be folly. I cannot do this myself. But the rest of you here, maybe.
I don't know about the others. They have been, time and time again, willing to throw their own lives at risk to help others, but these last couple times have taken their toll on some of them.
That much is true. That girl, the one that was hurt. Look,
He kind of like tries to pull you closer.
there is a way that you could get them to help. play upon their fear. She was here. She knows this place. Those fuckers. If there is something that they can use, they will use it. If she knows where this place is, they will know where this place is.
From what they've told me of this group, I have no doubt that's already crossed their minds.
Perhaps it could work. Yes, it is manipulative, but how much do you want this woman back?
Enough to risk my life for it. I think for them, it'll be much more a case of how long it will take them to recover from this.
I know.
We don't have the time it's going to take for some of them to get back on their feet.
We will see.
We will.
So he just kind of withdraws into himself.
And I'll, at that, leave those two to each other.
Eventually, as the day continues on, the skies grow silent. But everyone stays inside. The makeshift trapdoor kept shut. The stepladder pulled away from it so that no one is tempted to peek outside. You two, being the only two still conscious, as it starts to draw towards the evening and some food is brought through to you, perhaps by Dan, I need the two of you to roll perception for me. And Scott, if you could roll for me with a -30 to your roll. This is hearing, you're currently asleep. It's whether or not it would wake you up.
94. I roll.
You are sound asleep.
87 fail.
Nah, fail.
Okay. You're well and truly up, my good sir.
Oh, that was a 1. I would have been pleased, but
Okay. You sit down with the Dant on the edge of his bed, have something to eat.
How is everyone? What happened out there?
It was a bit of a clusterfuck, to say the
Bats.
least. Who knew bats?
Right. Is everyone down for the count, or...?
For today, at least.
Alright.
Not everyone, but we're not going outside, at least, not at the moment.
Yeah, that wouldn't be so good. So are we holding off on talking to the Russians for a bit? About Max and stuff?
I spoke to them a little, but they're aware that today's going to have taken a toll.
And you've also got to think about the fact that if they've got Max, the more time we take to get out there, the longer she has to deal with, well, whatever she has to deal with.
Yeah. At this point, it's. I don't think there's any good options left. For anyone that's willing to come, I think it's going to be Some just won't be able to come. Some will have to choose whether they put aside their healing, because we couldn't afford to wait.
This is probably just a scratch. I'm pretty sure I'm fine. Give it a couple of days. At the most, I don't want to take too long. But
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, 2 Russians, you and me, I think we stand a pretty good chance.
I don't think it's going to be both the Russians. Mikhail, I think his name was. He's still gone for a long time. He's
Not very handy.
If he pulls through, it'll be a surprise. He's hanging on rope that doesn't exist.
Hey man, if we can take out 2 armed guards with towels, I'm pretty sure 3 people armed with weapons can take down an entire criminal organization.
Yeah, how hard can that be?
No one way to find out.
You have to find them first.
We should ask Scott. He might have perceptive knowledge. I was trying to go for like an eye pun there, but I couldn't think of anything.
I get you.
You done in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willow's here for a checkup.
Oh.
Frank's standing outside. The door is still open at this stage, and Willow comes in. Okay. I've cleaned it out as much as I can. We won't know. I'm sorry. I wish I had some good news for you, but...
Hey, worst comes to worst, I turn into one of the undead. But before that happens, just make sure you shoot me in the head. Hey, that rhymed.
Your spirit seems okay, so that's good.
Yeah. Generally turn to a bit more of a chipper personality when things don't look that well, but, you know. Frank's has to deal with my puns all morning.
Yeah.
And he smiles for a second, but then you see his face kind of just change instantaneously just to a...
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And he walks up towards the window behind you and just kind of puts his ear towards it. Fuck's sake.
Hey, something.
I think it's gunshots.
Fuck's sake.
It definitely is. It's distant. It's hard to tell where they're coming from inside. But it's distant. It's really distant. Like, strain your ears. You think you might be able to hear them, or it could just be your imagination.
You think we should try and get Nick up on the roof? Risk it?
I wouldn't risk going outside with those bats.
It's been a while.
They might have gone. How dark is it at this point?
It's like amber sky, purple sky.
Timmy, and these windows in the rooms, can they be opened or no?
No, they're all sealed.
They're sealed
yeah,
shut,
it's
right?
epoxy around the outside to make sure that everything stays hermetically sealed, pretty much.
Well, if need be, if we need someone on the roof, I won't be any use outside in a close-up thing. Just hand me my gun, go up to the roof, I'll keep an eye out with Nick.
We'll take it as it goes.
If need be.
Would you be alright to help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta let the others know that is what you've heard.
Yeah. 5 minutes, I'll give you your friend back.
Can I also get my gun? I'll feel comfortable with it.
I'll ask. And he leaves, and Willow leaves with. You start marching along trying to find Nick, and you do actually find him. Frank has to take you through some of the other doors, and you can see that Nick is kind of just sitting next to Skulk's bed, and it looks like he was just kind of inspecting the work that's been done, and you can see that it's bound up at this stage. Lots of layers wrapped around, but the bed sheets are rather red. Hey,
How's his leg?
missing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's gunshots off in the distance.
Fuck. Okay. I'll head up top, see what I can see.
Alright.
Or here.
Do your elf eyes see?
Just give me a boost just in case.
Yep.
Well, the two of you. Yeah. So, both yourself, Nick, Frank, make your way up onto the top level and towards where this kind of cutout point is, which, looking at this, jumping into the accommodation in the slowest reveal possible.
I was wondering whose bedroom you put the hole in.
It's not actually in a bedroom, it's in the centre. But it's in the centre at a point where it's actually not going to interact with anything on the roof because it was cut down from the roof. So it's around about here. So it's not coming directly up into Skulk's bedroom.
I was just picturing that great moment if you're cutting down from the roof that you come down like halfway.
Wait, between a wall? Yeah, that's absolutely. No, you send through one little bit to start with to make sure it was, going to line up properly. Using the blueprints of the building as well to measure it out. Poe knows what he's doing. But Nick climbs up towards this thing, pushes the top off, slides it out. There is like a weight that's put down on top of it, so it is a bit of a push to get it up, but he's definitely strong enough and ends up pulling himself up and onto the roof. It's done in such a way the ladder goes up to the point that someone with one arm could make it up there easily enough, and so he starts to clamber up, and it's, there's a little bit of a chill in the air once he makes his way up there. Frank starts to go up as well, and he says, "You going up?
Yeah.
Go up first, I'll watch you."
Cheers.
Okay, and he just kind of spots you as you clamber up on top of the roof, and then followed shortly by Frank.
At least you have an elbow to use.
Okay, so you clamber up out onto the roof. No need for perception checks here. Once you make it outside, on that kind of night air, you can just hear like these little cracks. And it's not just like one, there's a fair amount of it going on. And it seems to be coming from southeast, going by the compass, which you guys like me to do. Whereas if that was me, I would actually call that...
South.
I would call that west. Yeah, just because I know it's not west at all, even the slightest. But that compass doesn't make sense to me sometimes because...
It's west of the facility?
Yeah, because like the way that North Island goes is like, this is the coast. The north should be up this way. But, it's just me. Geographically, rather than actual...
Regionally, it's the same as well.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't say Auckland will be to the north.
Yeah. So, you hear it coming off from this direction, and it seems it's got to be distant, because it's just that you're just kind of hearing it on the wind. But there's a fair amount of it. That's
roughly the direction we came in, isn't it?
It is. It is the direction you came in. We flew over that way.
That's... that town, that direction?
There's Lee. That's close-ish. You see Franco.
It is. How much trouble was up north? Do you know?
He's just looking at both you and Nick here.
From Whangarei, you mean?
Yeah.
There was a fair bit of trouble up there.
One second, do a logic check. Yep.
We've got catches. You might have seen them on the way in. Big, windmill-like things.
Zombie distractions, yeah.
Mirrors and a scraping plate. Makes a lot of noise. Draws anything in from around the area.
Yeah, they were pretty clever.
Got one in that direction.
Maybe the rooks ran into the...
Whangarei. Chance, if someone came from Whangarei, they could have been making their way down the coast. Thankfully, the roads leading towards here, they're blocked.
Yeah, we
know our way through, but...
we only came this way because of the plane. It wouldn't have been a way we chose to go.
Did I hear you right in saying you thought they were from Auckland, Nick? Yeah, it might be. If they're making their way to Auckland, they've got no reason to come out this way. We should be safe. If we keep our heads down. Stay quiet. Stay indoors. We should be safe.
If that's the group moving back south, and they're probably taking with them any Russians and Max that were still alive from the point.
Maybe. Look, if that's them, you might get lucky. Or unlucky.
How are the roads through that area? If they came in vehicles, could they get through there?
As soon as they hit Warkworth, it's a no-go. It's going to take them days, maybe a week, to try and clear the jam that's there.
So they couldn't have gotten up to the point.
Unless they cleared it on the way through. But if they did, I don't know why they'd be firing at things on the way back.
I've done a lot of things that doesn't make any sense so far. Fire up the point being one of the biggest ones.
It might be perspective. Look, I think it's going to be safest if we stay. Keep our heads down. I don't feel good up here, but... like I said, if they're moving through, good chance they could get stuck for a while, or they blasted through it on the way here. We didn't hear anything. Last few days, we haven't heard anything. Except for you three showing up in the plane and... I don't know.
Could they have a camp in that area? We didn't see anything coming in, but...
It's been a while since we've done a roam down that way. Last time would have been... maybe 3 weeks. A lot of activity down that way. A lot of dead, but they were all around the catcher. So, I can't say. We haven't been to Warkworth in a while. Place was pretty much cleared. We took everything we could. Didn't have a reason to go that far.
How much of a sight of that area can you get from on the hill there?
Not much. Something. Better than here, but... I'll be bollocksed if I'm going to go up there after today.
Having a look around, how does the skies look now that we're outside?
It's pretty clear. You can start to see some stars, actually planets. You can see, first of all, the brightest points, and a few stars starting to kick up as the sun's slipped below the horizon, and that last bit of the ambient light starting to fade minute by minute.
We should get inside before it gets dark, just in case they're waiting.
Yeah, I agree. Inside then. Nick starts to climb down.
You gonna follow?
Frank as well. They pull it closed. Push the ladder aside. And start to go off in their separate ways. Nick saying, I'm gonna get Jake up to speed. And he leaves you for a time. With you two being the only two still conscious, is there anything else you want to do this evening?
Not particularly. Try and come up with more puns. Something like that.
All right.
Not for the evening. I will briefly go back to the Russians. Just let
They just kind of sat down, yeah.
them know that there were gunshots
Little gunshots.
out south
East.
east. It could be maybe that they've run into some dead, or maybe some of your guys have tried to get away, or it might not even be them at all. But
Southeast.
it's near. These guys have some very loud zombie attractors in that area.
Okay.
So there's definitely a lot of dead, but
Okay.
maybe if we're lucky, they've gotten stuck and we've been bored a day or so. Time to recover and get our stuff together.
All right.
I'm gonna, in the morning, I'm going off to the hill to see if I can get a look that direction. Maybe I'll catch a glimpse of something.
Maybe.
I'm not going out in the dark, just in case those bats are still around. But once the sun's up again.
Okay. All right. I think I will go to the kitchen. I need to have a tea, something to calm myself. Good evening. He gets himself up. Starts moving towards the stairs.
And then I'll go fill for Danton on
Okay.
what we heard and theorized up on the roof.
The information is downloaded.
Cool.
Slowly. It's only dial up here.
Yeah. Cool. How bad is my leg injured? Like, is it something that I can't put any weight whatsoever on? Or is it?
You think you could. It's not terrible, but it's painful. Like
It is grievously injured.
Yes. Oh, you're grievous. You're not significant, aren't you? Oh,
Yeah, he
no,
was
it
grievous.
fucking hurts. This is the actual tendon itself was severed, so it seriously impedes your walking ability. But you know, you can. I mean, it's going to take a while before you can think about walking on it. But right now, you know,
You hold me in a go-kart once.
I'm not pulling you in a go-kart up these hills.
Worth a shot.
I need...
How long do you think we actually have with these Russians being... Oh, not the Russians. Sorry, the Auckland being...
If the gunfire was them, and if they've been held up, it might have bought us a day or so to get close, but if they have any kind of vehicles, or if they've already made their way through, we're not catching them.
So what you're saying is, if Max is with them, this is our only shot.
that, or outside of
Crossing.
trudging back to Auckland and walking in on their front doorstep, pretty much.
God damn it, Max. We are so even after this. I guess, I mean, it short of somehow drawing them here, I don't see another option. I don't want to draw them here. That was me trying to throw it out there to see what reaction I would get, but, you know. Yeah.
We can at least think for the night. I'll see if I can see anything out from the hill in the morning. Maybe we'll get lucky. I'll spot a van or something. But
Take bat repellent.
yeah, I'm definitely not going out unarmed.
You
Or
are not
unarmed.
unarmed. You're going out unarmed, but not unarmed.
Yeah.
You start to try and turn in.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just could crash on the other couch in the lounge, since I'm assuming all 4 medical bags are now full.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. I'll get back to you in a second. You're shaken awake. You see the non-bearded face of Jake, which is still so hard for me to think about. It just doesn't seem right. You okay, man?
Yeah, not feeling the best.
No, I can tell. Look, took a lot of balls to go back out there, especially with that. So, good on you. Also thought I should let you know that Nick heard gunshots in the distance. After all the batshit today, I think we should stick here. We're running ourselves thin. We've only got so many eyes, arms, and legs.
Yeah, I'll only be a liability out there in my current state.
That's actually no. He would. Yeah, you're 100% right. I was just about to say like no, don't say no, but Jake would be like, yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like 'cause even just the like
Fucking Jake.
even the first comment I was like,
yeah. Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Anyway, don't feel sorry for yourself. I'm gonna check in with the old man. Alright. When you return upstairs to the lounge, Mikhail is still asleep on the couch, but Ismail hasn't come back. Everyone else up here is turned in for the night. But he's not there right now.
I'll have a little look around, like check the kitchen and...
Alright. Roll investigate for me. This is challenging. So it's flat.
Yeah. That's still not great. 26 pass.
Ooh. Okay. You head downstairs. It's dim in here by now because all the curtains are still being closed, so you're using just one of the small, like, rechargeable lights that they have there to just see by. Moving through the corridors, not seeing anyone out. Most people, generally, for the most part, when the sun goes down, everyone else goes down. They get up with the sun, they go to sleep. Just to save power that way.
Still getting used to that.
Yeah. You head downstairs after having a look around the top. Actually, even before you go downstairs, there's something that you'd notice with your investigation check being successful. The ladder isn't where you guys left it when you came back down.
Is the trap open?
Look up there, use the light. No, it's closed over.
The ladder is in that area?
It's in the area, but it was, when you guys placed it back, it was placed up against the wall. This way it's kind of sticking out slightly. Enough to make you notice that wasn't where we put it before. Someone could have kicked it in the darkness maybe, but well, there could be more.
Is it sitting in a way like someone has climbed up through the trap hole, or like it's just been moved?
Possibly. It's close enough that it could have been, but it doesn't line up perfectly with the top.
Look around and see what else it might have been for higher up places. It might have been used to, if there's any high storage or...
Looking around, there's just mostly bookshelves, all reachable, nothing that high.
I'll pull it out under the trap and see if I can shift that and at least have a peek through.
It's a little difficult to do by yourself, but you get your balance right and push it up, slide it slightly to the side. Don't hear anyone moving or anything beneath you. Mikhail's still asleep. You clamber up and through, pulling yourself up. Looks the same as when you were up there before, but darker.
Alright. I'll close that back up for the moment.
Okay. Close it back. Oh. Clamber back down. Push the ladder back up against the side.
And keep having a look through the building first, but have a much better look, just to...
You start to look around the rest of the top level that you're on. Don't find anything else that kind of piques you. Head down to the second level, into the kitchen, and you can notice that there are a few things off in the kitchen. Can slightly on the ground. There is a section where small gas canisters are stored for camp stoves, and they've been moved around as well. Only reason you're noticing these things is because of your successful investigation check. You haven't been here for long, but it's enough for you to notice and start to piece together a picture.
Does it look like someone missing?
Quite possibly, yeah. I mean, you go over and you have a look, and there is a bit of a dust ring where it looks like there could have been one there before.
I'll immediately go down to the bottom floor and see if it looks like it's any backpacks or further
Yeah. You make your way down to the bottom. You haven't really had a look in any of the storage rooms down here, so it's difficult to tell if anything has shifted from how it was before. You're looking through, not noticing anything in particular.
and just have a peek through it, both sides of the cages, see if, make sure they're all...
So you can't see the outside from down here, but you go up to the outer doors and it's locked. Go across to the other side, it's locked. So even if you wanted to go outside right now, you couldn't. Oh, well, you could turn the lock, but that's me being dumb.
It's not key locked.
It's key locked from the outside, but from the inside, it's There's a twist.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, one of the thin ones that you just...
Yeah, but it means if someone
Deadbolt.
Yeah.
did unlock and went out, it would stay unlocked.
yeah. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna definitely go back upstairs,
Okay.
head out onto the roof.
All right. This time, when you're getting the ladder back out again, you hear one of the bedroom doors open. And yeah, it's Jake. What are you doing?
I think our Russian friend's taken some supplies and slipped off.
Fuck's sake.
I think he's gone after...
Don't go after him.
I was just going to see if I could see him in the distance.
And leave the door open?
No, I'd push it close behind me.
Okay, make sure you do. I'm staying down here.
Alright. Then yeah, and I will do just that.
Okay. Alright, so you take the ladder back across again. Push the thing across. Pull yourself up and on top of the roof. Slide the thing back across you. Roll a perception for me. This is going to be a -30.
Minus 30.
It's dark up here. You have your light with you, though.
I'll use a sigil on that. So that's
What is fine?
minus 5? Yeah. It's actually minus 1. It's like, how'd you get that? No, sorry, yeah. I'm reading that backwards. 5, pass.
You use your light, you're looking around.
Didn't even need the sigil.
You hear fluttering in the last second before something comes close to your face, right towards the light. What's your athletics?
40.
Okay. Well, you aren't surprised, so that's good. You're slightly aware that something's happening. As...
It's maybe a giant moth.
I'd be happy with the giant zombie moth.
Oh, you feel something just like fast, and it just comes in and it flicks right off your head, but you manage to duck just in time, and something flutters over, and then it's lost in the darkness. What do you do?
I am immediately dropping the light.
Okay.
And apologies, but I'm bolting for
For the shack?
the shack.
Shack.
Okay. You start to make your way over towards the shack.
The love
You start running over towards the love shack. You get towards the door. You would have a lock on this thing, wouldn't you? 110%, right? Okay, I was just confirming. You get over towards the love shack, and you just go to turn the handle on this rack, because essentially this is a ramshackle house. It's using parts of other houses to make this thing on top of here. You go to turn the door, and you feel it. Oh, fuck. As you hear fluttering again.
That's not a moth.
Okay, all right.
Just jump in, you can do it.
What would you like to do? As something is fluttering down towards you at speed.
I turn and take a swing at it.
Okay, so you're essentially using fight to oppose the check. So you're being attacked right now. You're using fight to try and block.
Yeah.
Roll fight.
Now we know the worst monster in Zealand now. The most difficult monster.
Bats.
Quite
It's a zombie
literally,
bat.
It's fucking terrible.
I'll take a leg.
I'd rather like face the unborn again.
6.
Don't know about
6.
Those guys are
Okay.
pretty-
If you turn
Alright.
into a bat bite, you become Batman.
A zombie Batman.
a zombie Batman. Fuck yes.
Oh my god.
Or a zombie vampire.
Oh. Okay, so
Are you a vampire that's a zombie or a zombie that's a vampire?
do you have any armor on right now? Nope.
No.
Okay, alright, so this is going to be straight damage. I'm going to figure out where it's going.
Left leg.
What's the wrong?
It's a grievous wound. It's 51.
Oh,
Oh, with -6.
-6.
-6, yeah, sorry, it was 57.
Okay,
-6.
75 is left leg.
Because it was charging. Oh my god.
These things love legs.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Someone must have kicked their granddad or something. And now they're just like, no, never again.
Hey, there's this juicy foot on that leg you can go for.
And yet you hear the fluttering, but you turn around, you don't see it, but it's low to the ground, and then all of a sudden on your Achilles, you just feel like that tendon, just these 4 like teeth just kind of dig into your ankle and your foot.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't have a left
I
foot.
don't have a left foot.
Oh, right foot then. Next slot along.
Next slide along.
Next slot along.
Yeah, with
so
the right foot.
I've got the
Yeah,
entire.
right foot.
I do have the entire rest of the left leg though.
you do. No, but it goes.
Oh, hang
to the
on,
right
75,
leg.
right?
75, yeah.
Yeah, it would actually go to right arm since 75 is closer to 70
It
than to
is.
86.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So you feel just like
No,
as you
my
whip
one good
around.
arm. Let's go for my calf or something.
Oh my god. Yep. No, you feel like this bite just like wrap around the wrist and just bite in down by your hand as it just teeth come straight in. Grievous wound. Something coming completely out the darkness, flying towards you at speed. Yep.
I wish this was alcoholic now.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, like, it's not just like it's like and then now that it's here, that just that sound is just that. Yep.
Now roll shark.
Yep. Yeah, actually. Oh my god. Yep.
Oh,
Yep. It's a grievous
My
wound.
dude.
It's a grievous wound.
you're gonna be nothing but
Sorry, you were
nuts.
saying about not having
I know.
used sigils? I swear, my goal in this session is not to kill every one of the characters that's here.
Oh, not to kill, just to seriously maim and turn into nothing but nubs.
Yeah. 13 pass.
Okay, you managed to stay conscious. It is now your turn.
I'm going to try and.
This thing isn't like latched on. This one's like bit, and it seems to. Yeah, it's still close. It's close enough that you could take an action towards it, but it doesn't seem to be actually like physically on you.
Oh, okay.
It's close to. Actually, what kind of clothing would you have on your arms?
It would.
Jacket similar to what you're wearing, or?
Um,
Actually, yeah, I'm trying to remember what you were wearing. Can't remember.
I was.
Yeah, priest robes. Yeah,
I just had
partial priest robes.
the. I had that slightly ill-fitting shirt of Hoheckers.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. No, there's a chance then that it could. It's still close enough that it's kind of tied in.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll go for the combo of trying to use that arm to shoulder check the door.
Oh yeah.
I want to try and.
Just like try and squish this thing right up and against it. Okay, all right. So for that, I'm going to give you a +40 for being in a superior position and a +20 for charging, because you're charging at the wall with speed.
Don't break the love shot,
Plus 60.
60 plus
Break
60
the love shack.
Don't break
Get some
the love
secrets.
plus 60, but also -15 because you have a grievous wound to that arm.
That's cool. That's still.
Plus 45.
That's still 105.
Oh, nice. So already 5 damage over.
96 pass.
Plus 5 over, so yeah.
Yeah, you freaking squish this thing again. It's the most satisfying feeling after this thing just dug into you and you've seen what happened to him, and you just rush towards this thing and you just feel it just and just that screech and it's out. I'm sorry, members. Like what the fuck? What lives over there? What makes these noises? Yeah, you just squish it right up against there, and this thing just falls limply from your arm onto the ground as you start to feel like this trickle of warmth down your arm.
How's the door handle?
How's the door handle?
Just the door in general with me.
You can see a little bit by the light that you dropped on the ground. It's still casting light up in this direction. I mean, it looks... Yeah.
Does this shed have windows?
It does.
I think so.
Yeah, it does, but it's also... like, there would be, like, curtains, or at the very least, something like a curtain kind of strewn across them, but... So
I'm pretty sure it got like windows on
see
all.
inside.
Not sure if it's on all sides. Or... Yeah.
Yeah, window here, window here, window here, window here.
So there's two on one side, not the door side,
Yeah.
because on the other, still on the roof side. Yeah. 2 windows.
And there's the ladder down the side.
Yeah.
Leading to the locked front doors.
Nope. Leading off the side of the building.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the two locked doors on the front, yeah. There's also the trapdoor.
Yeah. Do I hear additional fluttering around me before I decide to do something dangerous?
You can take a turn, trying to listen in.
Do the dangerous thing.
Because it always turns out so well.
I'm going to do the dangerous thing.
Yes.
Do the dangerous thing.
Yes.
What's the dangerous thing?
I'm gonna take that nicely damaged arm and use it to break one of the windows.
Oh,
Ah, yes.
okay.
This is
Oh,
so good.
you're gonna be so happy.
I'm gonna
You're
wake
gonna
up
be so
like
happy when you wake up.
Yeah.
So you're breaking one of the windows
wake up to a home invasion.
to get inside the thing.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So how are you using your arm? Like trying to use the elbow of it to try and smash, or
Yeah.
thing? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So many times I almost knock your monitor.
No, I know, right? Yeah. Okay. My good sir, I need you to roll luck for me.
Oh, man.
I am re-rolling the hell out of that.
Okay.
Why I'm failing that bad. Jeez, now that I've said that. It's a fail, but
How much does it fail by?
fails by 8 instead of
Oh.
42. So
That's better.
yes.
So you managed to smash through one of the panes. There's like 4 reasonably sized ones with wood in between them. Both the windows aren't identical, obviously reclaimed from somewhere. You smash the window, and as you draw back, you can see there is a shard of glass just sticking in through here. You can't tell how bad it is right now. What's your next move?
It's only just like a little.
It might be big enough for you to fit through. Yeah, I mean, okay. Put in a pinch, you could fit through that hole. But there's also glass around it.
Yeah.
You sure you want to go out? Yeah, I'll just close the door behind me.
Yeah.
Jake was this close to coming out, and he's just like, no. He's because he was actually just like in he was in his like briefs when he stuck his head out. So he's no.
Alright, I'm just gonna try and knock what glass I can clear out of that square and get through it.
Okay, all right.
Anything big and obviously jagged.
Okay. You hear fluttering around you as you just like try and like knock it clear as best you can. Looks pretty clear to you at the stage. You've like knocked it all out. Okay, roll athletics for me. This is challenging. It's not an everyday thing that you've done.
No.
As you try and squeeze yourself inside.
No.
Okay. You managed to get yourself halfway through the window with your rear and legs still exposed. Okay.
So what limbs are you missing already?
The other arm and a foot.
And a foot.
I love how that's such a nonchalant question. Like, what limbs are you missing?
We're all missing legs at the moment. We all got like a missing foot.
Okay, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. Would you like to try and squirm your way through?
Yes.
Try and squirm. Roll to squirm.
Roll squirm.
Athletic swim?
Athletic squirm.
Fail.
Okay, how much did you? How much was your fail there?
Failed by 11.
Okay, so that's going to be 6 plus 7, 17. 17 is still a minor wound, and that's going to. Okay, yeah. As you're squeezing through, you feel something land on your, like essentially on your back, on your hindquarters as you're trying to make your way through, and you just feel like these like little like pincery hands just start to like grasp you on your back, on the sides here, as you feel them just pierce in ever so slightly. You take a minor wound to your torso.
Alrighty.
Groped by a bat.
Groped by a bat. Groped by a bat.
And you said these weren't sexy bats.
Okay. At this point, you manage to force yourself in. You feel something getting squished up against you as you are pulling yourself in. At the point that you do make your way back inside, essentially using the rest of your next turn to get the rest of you through. Unfortunately, you couldn't really do anything to the thing that's on you at this stage. Something has risen in here with you as you collapse down onto the floor. And there's the head of some animal just on the wall here. I don't know what kind of animal, but there's something there. Yeah, there's all kinds of things hanging up in here. It's a freaky looking place. Okay, right. Actually, no, that's going to be, yeah, that's a miss. But you can feel like something just kind of just biting, trying to get in through that shirt and towards your soft flesh beneath. So you have something on your back right now that's trying to bite in towards you. You're in the room now.
Going to try and squish it up against the wall.
Okay. All
Stop
right.
wrecking my house.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Comes blood everywhere.
Oh my
I'm
God.
dead on the floor.
Okay, all right.
Might have a test piece of milk.
Yeah.
Eat him.
Okay. Roll fight for me then. So you're going to get again, like before, you're in a superior position. The thing is where you want it to be, and you're charging, so it's a plus 60. Minus 5 because of the minor wound. Because you're using your torso in this. Yeah, so plus 55 to your skill.
It's a 59 pass.
59. Okay. All right. This thing's going to see if it can maneuver. Okay, it succeeds with a 44.
44.
Oh,
Oof.
so that's
Yeah.
me 15. Minor wound.
15. Okay.
Plus 15 from carryover damage.
Plus 15? Okay, so that's a total of 30. So it's a significant wound. One significant wound as you hear this as it's pushed up against the wall, but because it's exactly where it wants to be up against you, it's going to start
Yep.
getting in there. Effectively, it is also in a superior position now. But it's also doing a targeted strike, which is minus 10, so it's just plus 30.
Plus 20.
Oh, plus 20.
10 for significant.
Yeah, plus 20, so that's... Okay. Right, it succeeds. What would you like to try and do as this thing is try and like bat it off. Or, oh my god.
I'm just, as odd as the picture of it is, just keep trying to just.
Oh, you press it up against there so it can't. Okay, all right. Roll with fight then for that.
That is all kinds of cold. One of those was good, one of those was very bad. It was the very bad.
Yeah. What'd you roll?
There is no bonuses on that, is there?
No, there's no bonuses.
Failed by 10.
By 10? Okay, so that's 28, and that becomes 38. 38 is going to be a significant wound, and that is to your torso. As you feel it's gotten through now. It's gotten through. Before it was just kind of clambering on. And now you can just... Those teeth are just getting through the shirt as you can feel just the teeth scraping against the back of you. It's just like... It's painful scrapes more than anything, as the thing is just trying to hold on and trying to bite in there. It's your turn.
I want to take that shard of glass that's in my elbow, and while it's pinned to the wall...
Oh, just try and run it in there? Okay, you have it pinned against the wall, so you're in a superior position, so that's plus 40. You'd have to use your arm to try and lift your dead arm up to it's possible. It's going to be a minus 15. Oh, it's in your good arm.
Yeah.
Use your good arm to smash the window?
Yeah.
I thought you used your dead arm to smash the window.
No, my good arm.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Your right arm has a minor wound to it then.
Yes.
It already has
keep track of that.
a grievous wound to it as well.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I guess a minor wound in my right.
yeah. How what's your constitution?
Shouldn't you be rolling for shock?
Yes.
Because you've got a grievous wound
That's a
to
good
be able
point.
to...
Be succeeded. So only
Oh,
of the
that's
next
right.
grievous or the
Okay.
next 3 significance, then you roll
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
How many significant slots do you have on your arm?
2.
2. Okay, so it's not going to fall off yet.
So that was a significant wound on there?
No, it was a minor. It was a minor wound
Okay.
to your,
The
to your
minor
right arm.
grievous.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, use that arm, just try and stab it in there. It's plus 40. And then minus 15. Minus another 5 for it being minor. So minus 20. So just plus 20 to your skill.
It's a 32 pass.
32 pass. Okay, it's going to try and squirm out the way. Ooh, it fails by 5.
Alright.
So what was your total, sorry?
32, so that's
37.
37.
37.
Significant.
Significant. So this is its second significant wound. It seems to be hanging in there still, though. You just... As you stab into it, it still seems to have some life left into it, even though it seems to be like slowing, but the intensity is still there, even though you know blood's flowing out of this thing. Oh boy. So that's 2 significance now.
So minus 20.
Yeah. So just plus 20 to it. Okay. Alright. It succeeds its attack roll. Just trying to keep fighting it off. Okay, roll fight then.
It's a 30 pass.
Okay, nice. You managed to keep it pinned up against the wall enough so it hasn't been able to do anything yet. Still trying to squirm, still trying to find its way out. You've still got that blade close to it again. You could bring it back out and try and bring it back down again.
Yeah.
Okay, same negatives as before. But still superior position.
6 pass.
Okay. Oh, that's a very bad fail. It's 93. So yeah, you bring this thing, even though it's a glancing blow, it just drives in there. It's just and it goes quiet. As it drops to the ground, and you take an additional minor wound to your arm, for as the glass in it pushes deeper in. And in the darkness, you can't be sure whether or not its blood is mingled with your blood. There's a lot of bloody things going on in here. You take a second to breathe, and you look over, and you see the hole in the window, the curtain just kind of flapping in the wind.
Is there anything in here that can very quickly just be put in front of that window to cover that hole?
You know what? Yes, there is. On a desk that's beside you. Oh, fuck my wisdom teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I hope it hurts.
On a table, you can see a large kind of fur blanket that's been stretched across it.
I will stuff that in the hole.
You reach across, you pull it off. There's a whole heap of equipment beneath there as you just stuff it in the hole. And you kind of have a second. It's dark in here. As soon as you kind of plug that in, there's a little bit of light coming from outside, from the moon and the starlight, but it's not much to see by. It's just a strip of it coming into the room here. Your light's still sitting on outside. You can hear fluttering. It's the flapping of wings outside.
And then I will try and pull off my other sleeve and do what I can to bandage up my right arm.
With your right arm.
With my teeth.
Yeah.
Because I don't have another arm to do it with. It's gonna suck.
It's gonna take a while.
Buddy.
Yeah, that's... Lie it down. You also lie down.
Yeah.
It's essentially trying to use your mouth to do it. That's gonna be be very difficult.
Yeah.
But you attempt to start doing that. And with the fluttering still happening outside, Dan, with you stuck atop the roof, with everyone else sleeping soundly. Well, semi-soundly. That's where we're going to be ending today's session. Please do join us in the next one, the final part of this chapter. For now, that has been us. Please do join us then. I've been Rycon. You have all been awesome.
And until next time, stay